I'm Brian Kaiser. I'm the marketing director for the Houston National Invitational. I'm here with Athlete Type CEO Rob PIke, and I'm really glad that they were able to join as a sponsor of the event this year. They've been working with a lot of athletes around the country in many different sports, and we're really glad to get them into the gymnastics community and get them to start helping the parents, the athletes, the coaches to better understand the mental game and how important it is to train the mind just like you would train the body. So let me introduce Rob and let him say a few things about the athlete types and the right profile, and we'll go from there. Rob, how you doing, man?
Yeah, doing great, Brian. Thank you. Thanks for having us, and we're thrilled to be a part of the HNI this year.
Excellent. Well, tell the folks, because some of them have heard about you through other broadcasts that Brian and I have done, and
Sure.
Some people haven't heard about all of this. But tell the folks a little bit about the athlete types and why you guys developed this.
Sure. So, you know, I was an athlete growing up. I'm a parent of an athlete now. And, you know, about 4 or 5 years ago, I was experimenting with psychological testing and predictive analytics and realized that, you know, we were working in the professional sports, but there was nothing for amateur sports. There was no solution. There's all these people that need help, whether it's an athlete or a coach, especially with the mental side. You know, we've all heard the axiom, 90% of success in sports is mental, but there's not a lot of tools out there that are accessible for everyone. So we thought, okay, what if we built a system that would help athletes of all levels in all sports with the mental side, and then made it easy to use and made it fun. So that was our mission a number of years ago, and excuse me, we've been slowly building it out. But if you think about it, you know, if you're going to start from scratch and build something out for the mental side of sports, you would want to start with, you know, think of like Google Maps. Where am I, right? Before I know where I want to go, I need to know where I am. So what we wanted to do then is start with a world-class assessment, right? So that's where our business partner, Dr. Robert Troutwine, who's been assessing athletes at elite levels in all sports, a lot of work in the NFL, Major League Baseball, with the U.S. Department of Defense and the Navy SEALs. And he has, for 30 years, been working with elite athletes in figuring out what are the characteristics, those mental intangibles that are critical to success for athletes. So that's where we started. And then we, we put that online, made it available. We discovered the 8 athlete types. So, you know, in that vast database of Dr. Troutwine's, we discovered that there are 8 different types of athletes, you know, that make them successful, make them tick. They have different characteristics, strengths, and weaknesses. So that's where the name of the company came from, Athlete Types. And we wanted to make this available for everyone. So it's free for anyone in the world to go to athletetypes.com. They can take our world-class assessment. It's about 25 minutes, 100 questions, and they can learn their athlete type for free. You know, so you might be wondering, you know, what is an athlete type? So it's a high-level description of how you think as an athlete. For example, the Super Bowl's this weekend. You know, one of the quarterbacks is Tom Brady. He's the rocket type. So the Rockets are confident, calm, bold, cool under pressure. You know, so they've got some great attributes, but they also have some weaknesses too. You know, like sometimes they might be too confident, or they're very quick with decisions. So sometimes they don't think things through. The Rams quarterback is Jared Goff, and he's what we call a maverick. So those mavericks are innovative, adaptive, right? They're really good on the fly and coming up with good ideas, and that really fits his characteristics as well. So anyone can go to athletetypes.com, learn their athlete type for free. Again, it takes about 25 minutes, but then you can share it with your friends, your parents, etc., and get them to take it and see each other's athlete types. We've made that part of it really fun.
You know, Rob, the world of personal development, which I've been in and played in for a little while, they always tell you, you know, the first thing you need to do is understand, right?
Right.
if you get an understanding of what's going on, of how things work, then you can usually be successful and then start putting forth ideas to be more effective, more efficient, and more productive. And I think for the coaches, especially in our sport, where we're dealing with, very high level amount of, could be dangerous apparatus and skills, to understand how the athlete thinks, what makes him tick, what motivates him, then also understanding from the athlete side how the coach works, what makes the coach tick, and how he responds to feedback from the athlete, and then of course making that mix complete and adding in the parents really makes this a very powerful tool to move an athlete from being a good athlete to being a great athlete, and then someone who can be really coachable. And I know Bill Belichick has used this system for, well, a lot of years. I think something 20 plus. So with that being said, what are you guys finding? Because they take the assessment, and I'll drop a link in here to that for everyone that wants to just click on it and go to it. We have a link for the gymnastics community. We'll drop that link in here. But there's the second part of that. After you get the assessment and you understand if you're a rocket, a maverick, and all those things, then you move over to the mental gym. And the mental gym's where the magic starts happening, correct?
Yeah, oh, for sure, right? And then, and you touched on too, there's that intermediary step too. So once we've measured, we know the athlete type, so we know where you are, we know where the athlete is. But then it's, okay, so how do we work with that athlete once we know where they are? So what we designed then were 3 very insightful reports for the stakeholders in the development of an athlete, like a gymnast, right? So we've got a report for the athlete, so he or she knows exactly where they are. We even measure them on the 12 performance traits that are critical to success. So performance traits are things like growth mindset, grit, confidence, adaptability, decisiveness. So those are traits that Dr. Troutwine has, refined over the years through his research, that those are critical to success. So you'll get your measurements on those. But more importantly, your parents, your coaches, and yourself get to understand what makes you tick, what's in your head, what's in your heart. How do you like to be communicated with? How do you like to be coached? What kind of coaching will you be responding to? What parenting will you be responding to? So that's critical, because that results in better relationships. And better relationships make us more successful. But then, right, now that we've understand where the athlete is, how do we work with them? Now we want to develop them to help them reach their full potential. We want them to reach peak performance. And it may be the athlete scores low in confidence, right? So then what we have is a mental gym. The mental gym is a place for learning. So online lessons, online, we call them workouts. They're interactive. So some are videos, some are reading. All of them require the athlete to type in, responses to questions, to stay engaged. There's 2 types of workouts right now. There are skills, where they learn new mental skills and techniques, and then there are habits. So we want to develop lifelong habits of success, habits of champions, that they can take, not only in their sports, but in their schooling and in life. So that's the mental gym. So it's full circle. We've got the assessment, we've got the guidance, and then we've got the development and training. And then we, 6 to 12 months later, reassess, because we want to see where we are now, right? We started in one place. We've done some development, some learning, some growth. Life experiences has probably helped as well. 12 months later, especially these teenagers, growing crazy and mentally. And we want to help accelerate that growth and steer them in the right direction, so they become more mentally tough, mentally resistant, or resilient, etc.
Well, now, the interesting thing about the system is, that you could go to someone like Dr. Troutwine, and you would pay, anywhere from $150 to $500 per hour to go through this type of mental training, as you call it, as mental workouts. And you guys are doing this and offering the mental gym for a really fair price, and it's,
Right.
it's for a year of the trainings. And
That's right.
just touch on that. Why,
Sure.
as we wrap up here, why is that important as a part of your business model to have it where so many athletes can actually afford to get the highest level of mental training, of sports psychology mental training, at such a fair price?
Yeah, well, so our mission was to bring, sports psychology and mental skills to everyone in the world. So that's why our base product starts with free. But for those that are real serious and want to take advantage of our more premium options, we've packaged it up where you can take the assessment 2 times a year. You can get all the premium reports for all the stakeholders and have access to the mental gym for a whole year for just $99. So it's $99 for a year subscription. And when I talk to parents, and you're right, a sports psychologist is going to cost you more than that for 1 hour. Or think of an elite skills physical trainer, or I've got parents of baseball players that say I pay $100 an hour for batting training, right, from a college coach or something like that. So what we thought is we want to make this affordable for the masses, and we have group pricing that's even more affordable. So if you have a gymnastics team or a club, we can pool them together, and we provide great group discounts for our team or group product.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, we can't thank you enough for sponsoring the event. I wish you could have made it down and had been here in person, but we're glad that we could link up.
I'll put it on my calendar for next year for sure.
Yes, I'm going to make sure to say the date really early. And, of course, we'll get you down for GAT again, and get some great trainings there at the Gymnastics Association of Texas meeting there at the Labor Day weekend. But, hey, we really appreciate you being a part of the Houston National Invitational, the 25th annual event, part of our anniversary celebration. And we just can't thank you enough for all you're doing for all the athletes, but especially for taking the initiative and wanting to be part of the gymnastics community, and letting myself and Brian Smith and a few others kind of help carry the banner and lead into that. So we appreciate it, and we are glad to have you on board at the HNI, and just look forward to many years of great success for both of us as we help a lot of athletes get to be the best athlete that they can be.
That's for sure. And just one little note, Jonathan Horton, who's down there at HNI, recently took the TAP assessment. He came back as a rocket, so he's similar to Tom Brady, so not a surprise there.
No, I'm not surprised at all. In fact, Jonathan's over here selling books right now, so I'll give him a shout out for you when I see him in just a few minutes. Rob, I appreciate it, and we look forward to, like I said, many years of great success and having you a part of the event.
Fabulous. Thanks so much, Brian, for the opportunity.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Okay, take care.